You're listening to The Front Stretch on AM 590, Omaha's ESPN Radio. Brought to you by Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs. Online at joeskarting.com.
Welcome back to The Front Stretch, fueled by Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs, featuring fast-paced, white-knuckle racing 7 days a week. More information online at Joe's Karting. That's joeskarting.com. We're joined in studio by Junior Reitz, Director of Racing at Crawford County Speedway here over in Denison, right?
That's right.
Yeah, you're going to be the first one we're going to interview in our local dirt track tour, as we're going to talk about a lot of the local dirt tracks in the Omaha, in the southwest Iowa, and in southeast Nebraska. Let's talk a little bit about the off season. I know, talking to you before the show, that this is actually the first time you guys have been back to racing in 5 years?
No, actually, yeah, 5 years. 97.
What changes have you guys made since that last race in 97?
Oh, we shortened the track up from, it was 9/16 to 4/10.
And kind of compare that to another track in the area. For a guy like me that doesn't know what 4/10 is going to look like on the track.
I guess you could compare it to Harlan, only with a little bit less banking.
Okay.
That way, we're kind of in between two IMCA tracks, so we kind of got to stay with the IMCA rules.
And you're an IMCA track?
No, we're not sanctioned IMCA. We're just going to go with the IMCA rules.
Which we'll get around to later is actually going to be a beneficial thing for you, for the drivers and for the fans, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. So what are some of the other changes you guys had in the offseason?
Oh, the only thing we did was shorten up the track and took away the banking.
Okay. Guys, Andrew, Bud, what are we looking at when he's talking about we're going to be shortening the track a little bit and we took away some of the banking? What am I going to expect sitting in the seats having myself a nice cold beer?
If you went to Denison about back when they used to run there, the track was almost humongous. It was bigger than I-80 kind of speedways track. That's probably the biggest one around here. Now this track being so much smaller, I heard it's nearly half the size. Back then when the cars, they'd get too spread out. It wasn't a boring race to watch there, but when you only get 10, 20 cars at a track and you get it spread out on a big track, it's really hard to watch. With a shorter track, I really like Denison, and they talked about us, my class even coming to the race maybe, which they're not going to now. We're going to go out there and race, and I was really happy to come out there and race because I think it's going to be real big, especially for the southeast Iowa area where it is a lot of IMCA cars are at.
With us in the sport mods and the A mods, the nice thing as a driver racing Denison this year myself, the one thing I find is, if I go to Harlan or even I-80, where they're relatively the same size, and now you have Denison the same size, I can run the same gear set, and I don't have to do a lot of setup changes on the car, and that's going to be really, really nice. But like Andrew said, the track was humongous, and it was hard on motors, hard on equipment, and it'll be easier.
What other kind of stuff you guys we were talking earlier? Drivers are going to benefit a lot from the new format at Crawford County.
Yeah, because you're not going to be changing gears as much, Before you had to run like a 486, and then you go to Harlan the next night, and you'd have to change gears and put in your cheaper motor because it took a good motor to run in Denison. And
then also the payout's going to be a little bit bigger this year.
Yep, we changed the payout because we didn't get an IMCA sanction this year, so we're going to go ahead and give it back to the driver.
Nice.
I mean, our payouts actually...
What classes are running there?
We're going to run everything that Harlan runs. We'll run late models, we'll run modifieds, stock cars, B mods, hobby stocks, and the sport compacts.
Okay, so it's not IMCA sanctioned, but it's all IMCA rules, correct?
Yep, IMCA rules.
Okay.
So I'll be able to take my car right from Harlan and be able to come right up and race at Crawford County.
Yep.
And where are you guys located at in Denison? So if I've never been to Denison before, I need to get there. How do I get to it?
You just get on 59 North until you get to Highway 39, which is McDonald's right there in the corner. You can't miss it. And No Frill Supermarket, and you just hang a right and head her north.
Sorry, can you guys tell I'm a little hungry? He mentions the Golden Arches, and all of a sudden I start making weird noises.
I'm thinking McRib.
There's nothing quite like a McRib and some racing on Friday night, right?
That's right.
Which brings up, are you guys going to be racing on Friday or Saturday night?
Friday night, so we're going to be starting at 7:30 racing because we got to allow some of the guys time to drive to get there after work.
Okay, and as a fan, what time can I come in and get into my seat?
Oh, I think you'd be there by 6 o'clock, 6:30. You'd be good. I mean, we got plenty of seating. We got enough seating for 5,500 people.
Ooh, that's plenty of seating, isn't it? You were talking about...
Not a bad seat in the house.
Talk about Turn 4. You were teasing me a little bit about it, saying that Turn 4 is going to be the place to be. So I'm going to have to get there early to make sure I sit down in Turn 4 and get all the action, right?
Yeah, I think Turn 4 is going to be exciting. It's going to be, I know we had practice back in October or whenever it was, and the guys say it's just like driving into a funnel. So that's where all the action's going to be, I think.
So is that where I'm going to see Bud's 25 car a lot?
I'd say pretty much probably on the wall or someplace. There'd be 25 wrote right on the wall for him.
He wasn't even paying attention this time. He gets so used to us making fun of him, he wasn't even paying attention.
No.
By the way, let's recap. We made fun of you for wrecking.
And again, he looks at us like, what did they just say?
But no, right. So Friday nights I'm going to be able to go down to Crawford County and watch some great racing. What is it going to cost me to get in?
It's going to cost $8 for adults, $4 for children 6 to 12. We got all kinds of different stuff going on, like Mother's Day is when we start, May 11th, and we'll go through August 3rd. But Mother's Day, mothers get in for $5.
Got to give love to the mothers.
Yep, and Father's Day, fathers get in for $5, and we got some Cub Scout days and some Little League days where the kids get in for half price.
Awesome.
Is there any other specials you guys are going to have during this whole year besides like a Mother's Day, Father's Day deals, or any big guys coming in or anything yet? Or you wait until next year to probably promote something like that?
I think we're going to wait till next year.
Just make sure you get everything in place, and because you don't want something like a Kentucky Speedway going on.
Yeah. The one thing I've been asked by a lot of drivers, and I'm not the man to speak on this, and you would be, Junior, as the race director of Crawford County Speedway. Talk about the increased payouts this year. I mean, these are really respectable payouts, and that's garnering a lot of attention throughout the Midwest here.
I guess I don't know where to start other than we're not paying no IMSA sanctioning fee, so we want to give everything's going to go back to the drivers. I mean, it's based on a 20-car field I think is what the payout is set up on. I mean, you're paying $700 for late models, $500 for modifieds, $350 for stock cars, $300 for B mods, $250 for hobby stocks, and $100 for sport compacts.
$100
That's
sport compact.
a lot.
Wow.
Bud wants to know what it is to just get the tow money.
I think tow money for you maybe be $20.
That's a far cry from the person who finished 43rd in the Daytona 500, isn't it?
Yeah. Daytona, the tow money's $250,000. Come on, Junior. I mean, we'll take $1,000.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that.
Is this on record, Junior?
Something tells me as a spectator is gonna be paying a heck of a lot more if we're paying you $250,000 to wreck.
So we got a website. It's ccsdirtracing.com. I mean, we got everything on there, the payouts, the schedule, and we'll have everybody's picture on there that wins it at the end of the night and whatever. And the number you can get a hold of is a cell phone number, 269-1125. That's 712 area code, and that'd be my number, and I can pretty much set you up probably.
So that's getting hold of the man in charge, right?
Yeah, I guess you want to call him that.
Now, we haven't actually covered the most important question, which is, when's the first race?
May 11th, Mother's Day weekend. Yep,
okay.
That Friday of Mother's Day weekend is going to be the first race.
What about practice?
We're going to practice on April 29th, 2 to 5, yep. Weather permitting.
Okay. And again, races start at 7 o'clock Friday nights. Make sure you check out all the great information. What was the website again?
ccsdirtracing.com.
ccsdirtracing.com. And we talked about a fan Facebook page you can become a fan of, get great information on there, talk about when they're throwing the green flag, all the race winners, great pictures from Crawford County Speedway. Make sure you get down there, Denison, not too far, drive away. It's going to be great racing down at Denison. It's exciting to see you guys back up in business again. Going to see some great racing there.
Yeah, we're going to try it out and see what happens. I hope everything goes good. So far, everything's panning out pretty good.
Junior, thanks so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Junior.
Thanks, Junior.
You bet.
We'll be right back with the front stretch. Got turn 4 just around the corner. We're going to talk to Andrew as he's going to talk about some of the changes for the radiators in the NASCAR circuit and how that affected the Daytona 500 and how it could possibly affect the races coming up. This is the front stretch presented by Joe's Karting right here on AM 590, Omaha's ESPN Radio.
This is Andrew from Kaziski Auto Parts. Kaziski Auto Parts is an insurance quality used parts supplier that can match your foreign or domestic car or truck needs. If you have a damaged or broke down car or truck, we guarantee a clean and quality part in next day fashion. Kaziski Auto Parts, your neighborhood premium recycled parts supplier. Call any Kaziski Auto Parts salesman today by dialing 402-731-4592 or visit us at 5040 I Street in Omaha. Kaziski Auto Parts, our quality used parts will match your car or truck's needs.
Are you ready for fast-paced, adrenaline-pumping, wheel-to-wheel racing right here in the Metro? Get to Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs and see what it's like to race real go-karts. Joe's Indoor Karting knows it's no fun to race go-karts at 10 miles an hour, so they ripped the governors out, and now the only restriction is how good you are at racing. It's full throttle, white-knuckle racing every day of the week. Head over to joeskarting.com for hours, prices, and specials, or give Buddy a call today and set up your group races at 712-256-3075.